So in this episode, I'm going to go over my plans. In the last couple episodes, I was telling you about how I am not giving up on my football career and my football dream. But here is the actual plan as to what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over my training routine, what I have planned for myself for these next few weeks, few months, and how I'm going to train as hard as I can to get to that next level. So take what you want. And, this can be a little bit of like a fitness thing, some fitness tips, because, I've been in the gym and I've been working out for a long time. I know a lot about, how my body works and how the human body works and what the best ways are to train for an athletic pursuit like football, which is what I'm going on right now. So my plan for my training routine is I don't usually set like a day for something. Like I don't say, oh, Monday I'll do this, Tuesday I'll do this, Wednesday I'll do this. For the most part, it's kind of just like how I'm feeling during the day. Obviously, I'm always going to do a workout, but what I like to do is I like to spread it out by the weeks. So in a week, I would like to do two ab workouts. I train abs separately. My abs actually look very good. I don't like to show them off, but my abs do look very good, and they have continued to look good throughout even, working that tough door-to-door job. I still manage to find time to train them consistently. So I like to do two ab workouts directly targeting the abs. And my upper body is actually pretty good as well, pretty well maintained. So I'm only going to be doing one upper body workout. What I do for the upper body workout, like when I target like strength specifically, is I do usually calisthenics. Like maybe I'll do push-ups, I'll do chin-ups, I'll do pull-ups. And then maybe for, some of the harder muscles to hit, I will do some things with the actual weights. And sometimes, if I'm feeling edgy, I'll, do machines and I'll be on the machines and I'll lift heavy. But for the most part, I don't have to lift that much because my upper body is very well maintained. So I do calisthenics mainly as my training, but once a week because I'm not trying to grow, because if I grow and I become too top heavy as a footballer, that's just terrible. So once a week, just to maintain, that's what I'm going to be doing. And as for my lower body, that one's a little more complicated because I've actually seen that my legs have gone a little bit weaker and they've lost that strength. So basically what I'm going to do is hard target my lower body. There's going to be one specifically dedicated strength workout a week and two like circuit workouts, I like to call it. We're basically for, a certain period of time, like 30 seconds or a minute on, and then multiple different sets, training agility, balance, power, speed, those types of things kind of combined into one big workout. And I'm going to do two of those a week. So I'm going to do one big strength and two agility, two circuit workouts a week for my legs. And then I'm going to do one or two hard cardio sessions, just straight either going out and running outside or going and running on a treadmill. I am going to get a gym membership. I actually haven't had one for a while, but I am going to get one just so I can have that option. If it's, like today, for example, it's snowing like crazy. So if it's a day like today, I'd be able to go and still do my cardio. So one or two a week, depending on what happens. And, sometimes I'll be playing soccer with my friends. We'll do a couple of events and we'll schedule a couple of play sessions together. So that's going to be cool. That will also contribute to the cardio and also ball work, right? One day of ball work, those game sessions that we do will contribute to it. But if we're not going to play, I'm going to dedicate a day specifically where I just get touches on the ball and nothing else. So that will be my kind of routine going forward. Again, it's not like so specific because like honestly, if you get too in your own head about it, it just kind of makes it worse. So it's not so specific. We do one or two cardio workouts. Sometimes I'll have footy sessions with my friends. Other times I'll just do some ball work on my own. Other times I'll do the cycle workouts once or twice a week. But I think minimum standard, and it can be more if I, as I go along, as I, increase in my strength. Minimum has to be two ab workouts, one upper body workout, one lower body strength workout, one lower body agility cycle workout, and one cardio workout a week. And one ball work workout. So that's 7 workouts, right? So that is 7 workouts minimum, which makes sense, right? One workout a day. And then And then obviously if I'm adding stuff, I'll do double sessions, right? A couple times a week. So that is going to be my workout schedule. It doesn't matter the day. And that's kind of how I personally treat it. It does not matter the day. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, Monday I'm going to do this, Tuesday I'm going to do this. No, because I think you can get all up in your head about it, and then you get overwhelmed just trying to be on like a routine. For me, what I do is I kind of just go day by day. That's what works for me. If you have to make a schedule for yourself, that's good for you. But that's what works for me is kind of taking it day by day and being like, all right, Monday, what did I do last week? All right. So Monday we're going to do the upper body today, or we're going to do the cycle workout today, or the circuit. And we're going to do, or Tuesday, we're going to do the ab workout. Usually ab workouts are Tuesdays and Fridays for me, just because that's kind of how it goes. Like, it's like it gives me enough time to rest so my abs aren't actually sore. But again, I'm going to be slowly increasing the intensity, because obviously, this is another tip. If you haven't really been working out, you shouldn't just start working out like as hard as you can to your limit, because you'll feel the DOM, delayed onset muscle soreness, and you will feel sore, because that's literally what it is you will feel like a deep soreness in your muscles that you worked out because you haven't worked them out in a long time. And then you've decided to go like this super intense intensity. So you shouldn't. If you're going to be starting a new routine, or you're going to start training at all in general, you have to start a little bit lighter, a little bit slower, get your muscles used to it, and then the next day you go a little harder. The next time you work that muscle group, you can go a little bit harder. But because like that's a problem, right? And for me personally, I've found like my legs are sore right now, because I just did a leg workout, and that was the first one I did in a while. And so my quads are still super sore like 3 days later. So I'm, again, speaking from experience, I'm not just talking out of my butt. Like, this is stuff that I've actually had to go through. As an athlete, you have to be wary of that, because obviously if you're sore, you'll be in the workout and you won't be able to do it as hard because of your soreness. Or the soreness will actually make you lose progress because your muscles need time to rest because you overworked them. And I have people in my life, like friends, that like they go to the gym once every month. Then they're like so sore for a week because, well, they not only do they not stretch, they're going as hard as they can only once a month, which is not good. Like, I can tell you from experience and just, from common knowledge that that's not going to be good for you. And you will end up with a lot of soreness. So for me personally, that's going to be my plan. For this week, it's going to be a little bit lighter, and then I'm going to slowly ramp up the intensity. Of course, I'm going to take a couple of breaks, enjoy my Christmas break with my family. That's the whole point of me quitting the door-to-door job as well, so I won't have to be out walking in the cold all day, right? So that also helps. But it's also super important for me to continue to train and continue to have that intensity be high. So whatever combination, even if I don't do circuit cycle workouts, but I do more cardio that week, or I actually play more soccer in like game scenarios, if we run a few pickup games that week more than normal, then that's fine. Like, I'm not going to be so cheesed about it. I'm more so focused on my physical strength, because the strength in my legs is probably the biggest thing I'm going to focus on. And that's why I have 3 dedicated workouts towards it. If I needed to, fix my upper body, then I would dedicate my workouts to that. But I don't need to fix my upper body. There was a time in my life where I did, and I did fix it, and I trained hard, and it was good, and now it's good, and now I'm good to go, right? So that's what's going to be. Minimum 2 ab workouts, an upper body session, a lower body session, 1 or 2 circuit workouts, and then 1 or 2 cardio days, and then ball work kind of just spread out in between there. That's my schedule. And that's going to be the blueprint for me going forward. That's going to be the blueprint as to how I'm going to actually get myself physically ready for whatever opportunity awaits me in the new year. Because, when I was in Portugal, I had a personal trainer with me. I had a team to train with. I had already something lined up, right? Like, I'd already booked the flight to go and do my trial. So I already knew what was happening. I had that structure. My biggest challenge right now is that there is no real structure. It is really just down to me to be disciplined enough to go out and do the workouts I say I'm going to do, which is a bit different, right? It's going to be a bit harder. I trust in my abilities, but it's going to be a bit harder, right? So that's the difference between back then and now. And now I'm actually, back then I had like the foundation of having just played a full season. And now I kind of have to play catch up a little bit. So I know the challenges that are facing me and I'm ready for them. I'm ready to give it my all and go as hard as I can to make it happen and to be physically ready. Whatever happens in any other circumstances, well, there's nothing I can do. The one thing I can control is being physically ready. And I've made a video in the past talking about how physical fitness is the first step to greatness. And it's true, right? If I can I can only control like my own effort, right? So if I get myself physically prepared, the rest should naturally fall into place. But if I'm not physically prepared, it just makes it that much harder. It just makes everything that much harder to being not fully ready. Then mentally I have to, when you get into the games, the pressure of the games, you have to be mentally ready and you have to be mentally switched on every single second. If I'm still struggling to be fit, that's going to be a bigger issue, a bigger challenge, a bigger hurdle that I want to avoid, right? I want to avoid all that. So I'm going to keep training hard. And that's what I would say to you, right? Keep training hard, right? Find that schedule that works for you. I've shared with you my schedule that works for me and I'm going to implement in these next couple weeks and months. But for you, it's going to be something completely different. Not everyone's the same. If you want to take some things from my schedule, go ahead, go do it, right? I used to do my ab workouts during my leg workouts. I do abs after the leg, but now I kind of have dedicated a specific ab workout to training my abs, training my core, which of course is super important in any sport, really. So whatever you decide you want to do for your schedule, for your fitness plan, I encourage you to go out and make something. Make something. Be in the gym, be working out, do something at least minimum 5 days a week, not only because you're pushing for something greater, because it's just good for you. You'll feel great at the end of the workouts. If you're feeling like crap going into the workout, but you still get the workout done, you'll feel that sense that like you were able to do it. I don't want to say that sense of pride, but I guess that kind of is what it is. I know pride is not a good emotion, but it is that sense of, being content, like, being satisfied, being like, yeah, man, I did it. I didn't want to go today, but I did it. And that's a great thing. Or you just feel amazing anyway, because you release the endorphins. So not only are you actually training for something bigger, I'm training for something bigger. I don't know what you're training for, but it's just good for you. So that's what I would encourage. Just make a fitness plan, make a routine. If you want it to be super specific, hyper focused, do it. But if I recommend just kind of doing what I'm doing, just saying like, okay, I'm going to do this day. All right. Depending on what I did this day, I'm going to do this next one, just to make it balanced so that you're managing the soreness of it. You're managing the workload so that you're not over sore, over tired, and under rested. So that's what I would say. That is my schedule. I am revealing that to you, that this is like the next part, right? Last episode, I talked about how, like mentally, I've just kind of found that I'm not over yet with the football dream. This is the actual plan. This is the actual main fruits of the work. At the end of the day, regardless, like if it works out or not, it's completely down to God. It's completely down to what God has planned for me in my life. But just because he has a plan for me doesn't mean I have to sit around and do nothing. I still have to make this schedule and I still have to physically push myself to be as ready as possible so that God can work what he needs to work without me being an inhibitor in that. That's how I see my life. That's how I philosophize, and that's how I, grasp the idea, right, of God's plan and how I work with it. But through it all, always keep strong faith in Jesus Christ. Do not lose that. Do not let your physical pursuits make you kind of get wrapped up all in yourself, being like, oh, I got to do this, me. Don't always stay humble. Keep training hard. Make a plan and a schedule so that you can train as hard as you can to be ready for whatever thing is coming up in your life, but always stay faithful to God through it all. That's my ultimate message, and it always is the ultimate message in all of these episodes. So, stick around because, if you don't like that message, bye, right? I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm trying to speak to those that truly have that deep faith or are looking for that deep faith, even if you're struggling in faith. It's all good. I'm here for you. I'm here to guide you. I've given you some kind of tidbits, some guidance on physical pursuits and on how you should, do do workouts and schedule and plan your workouts and stuff. That's what I'm doing. I have this goal, and I'm kind of, again, revealing what I'm doing and what my plans are going forward. And it's completely down to my own discipline, whether or not I actually make it to whatever trial I have, actually being ready. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to bring the episode home. It was a little bit quicker today. It's all good. But tomorrow, if all goes well, tomorrow I'm getting a guest on for the first time. So I don't want to say anything, but if it's not tomorrow, it'll definitely be very soon. So just so you know, this show is going to go into a very good direction. So stay tuned, keep those notifications on so that you don't miss the next episode or the next couple of episodes, because there will be a very great episode planned within those at the very minimum. So, time to bring it home. Thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you. I really do appreciate it. It's not many people yet, but hopefully I've seen some pretty good growth, and I'm seeing some good trends in the right direction. So hopefully this show can continue to grow in a good way. So continue to glorify God, be at peace, continue to strive to do better every day, and that's my ultimate message to you throughout this entire show. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.